It has been months since we've known about Gundam's fourth color. Red looks to be interesting in terms of the fact that it deals direct damage to units based on what we've seen with previous cards, but now finally with Gamma upon us, we actually have reveals. Brand new demo decks that feature the Zeon and Neo Zeon stuff actually provide us with insights in terms of some red stuff we're going to be seeing, and I'm super excited about it. So let's take a look at Gundam Card Game red cards. We actually already knew about a few red cards leading up to, well, this weekend, which will now have a bunch of revealed cards from the demo event. Partly because we've already seen them either represented on the website or because they were showcased in the trailers that we had seen previously. We know red is upcoming. There's a fifth color. We don't know what that's all about yet, but we do have red, and we've only had these two cards. First off of which being this Gira Zulu, which is a 3/2 vanilla, does link with the Neon Zeon trait. However, level 3/2 cost, I mean, look, it's just a vanilla body, but it's a vanilla body that can link, which is kind of nice depending on how strong the Zeon stuff can be. And then of course there's Sinanju, and this is the legendary rare card from the starter deck, the Neon Zeon Rush one. So it's a level 6/5 cost. And while we already see what it does, I think it's a good way to introduce kind of the themes of what the color is really going for. So it's a 5/4, links with full frontal. We don't know what that character is yet. And then when paired, this unit gains high mobility. And when this unit's battle damage destroys a card in the opponent's shield zone, choose an opponent's unit with 5 AP or less and deal 2 damage to it. So ways to deal direct damage to units. But like I said, we've known about Sinanju for a while now. However, we've gotten a few new card reveals. Shifting over to Twitter, where I'm showcasing the reveals as I get them. And if you're interested in any reveals or news about the game as soon as they come live, links to both my Twitter as well as my Discord community will be down in the description and the comments below. So looking here, we've got 4 red cards and 1 new green card that actually play into this Char demo deck. There are 2 demo decks. One of them features Amuro and some of the white-based stuff there, but we haven't heard anything about new cards being revealed there, so presumably it's just using a lot of the same cards that are already in the beta. So looking over here, we'll just take a look at the red cards here. So we have Indignation, which is a level 2 1-cost command, also pilot, so we love the versatility there. Main action, choose 1 friendly unit. It gets AP +2 during this turn. This is what you would call the typical battle trick. Your opponent's gonna go for an attack, they're trying to get you on a 2-for-1 or whatever. All right, battle trick, and now we trade. Super common. You see this all the time in games like Magic the Gathering, and it'll fill that kind of space here. The fact that it can double up as a Neo Zeon link is really nice, and I do honestly think lends itself to being one of the stronger command pilots that we've seen thus far in terms of what we have access to in the beta. So honestly, super good position right there. Shifting on over, we have Close Combat. I'm super excited about this because I've just kind of been looking for where we can get more powerful commands in the game, and this is one of those that I think is going to be seeing usage a lot with the release of the game. So level 2 cost, burst, activate this main. We love the fact that it has a burst, and then main/action, choose 1 enemy unit, deal 2 damage to it. The fact that there's no conditionals to it, I can do it at the end of my opponent's turn. Like, this is one of those very similar to Witch and the Bride, but it has so much more wide utility because it doesn't feel as bad to bounce something back to your opponent's hand as it does to be able to get rid of it for sure. It's good against early aggro. In the late game, it can allow you to be able to finish off some units. Let's say your opponent attacks into your board, and then they have 1 or 2 damage left on something. End of their turn, you go ahead, ping them for 2, get rid of it, and now the tempo's back on your side. These kinds of effects are extremely powerful, and I expect great things from Close Combat. This by itself, honestly, even like at least for the beta format, would make me super interested in being able to play into red. Moving on from there, we have Aegis Gundam, a level 4 3-cost unit. It is a Zaft unit and has Athranzala as its link. For 3/4 stats, you get a Breach 3. So Breach is going to be in red. So nice. It is nice to see that overlap. It's not uncommon for Bandai games to have a lot of overlap between the colors. And here we see that, you know, in green has Breach, red has Breach. So definitely being an inclusion in the starter deck, which we can see in the top right corner. This is going to lean into a very aggressive strategy. And what's cool is the fact that alongside MA mode, we actually have the pilot himself. So Athran Azala is a level 4 1-cost pilot, +1/+2 stats, burst at the hand, very nice. And then when paired, if there's a link unit, during this turn, it may choose an active enemy unit that is level 5 or lower as its attack target, which is really cool. We've already seen how powerful the fact that Wing Gundam can attack actives is. So the fact that you can slap this on anything that's a link, so specifically something like MA mode, and you're able to get rid of units that your opponent hasn't committed an attack to with yet, and on top of that be able to breach is a very nice combination. Now, I will say there's a little bit of weird overlap here. I presume the idea is that the seed stuff will work more with seed stuff. So we'll kind of have to see how that overlap is, right? We've got a little bit of a mix of Xeon here stuff on top of having a little bit of Zaf stuff. So this demo deck presumably is to just give you a wide berth of like what everything is intending to do. And maybe this will work better alongside more of the white stuff when we get more of the full reveals. Then we can see here on the side, shifting on over to the green card. So of course, most of green we already know from the beta, but we do have this nice addition here in terms of a level 4 1 cost command. So very level heavy. No burst, something to note, but it is a pilot with the Xeon typing. Action, choose one friendly unit. It can't receive battle damage from enemy units with 2 or less AP during this battle. That in itself is a pretty powerful effect. We have seen Wu Fei be able to do fantastic work on contested boards. However, the fact that it's an action timing, you don't get it back on burst, but it doubles up in terms of being a Xeon, I think it's interesting. Because it allows your board to survive, it allows you to make trades without losing your board, which allows you to be more aggressive, but maybe there's an argument you would rather just have another unit as opposed to a card that protects a unit. It's in the air, but it does give you more options, and specifically gives you another Xeon pilot, which the overlap with what we've got going into the beta on top of these cards here definitely makes me interested to see what we're going to get. If we shift on over to seeing the cards that we actually have available right now, that means that we're actually able to link with the Gira Zulu that we had seen previously. But on top of that, also Gelgoog. And that's really neat when you include a strategy that's already going to want to play things like Char, and then shift on over to Char Zaku 2. So the fact that you can pile on more and more of these ways to be aggressive and to use these pilots to be able to link into attacking into your opponent can put them in a corner. We've already seen tournament results how aggro decks can really get there. So if we lean into things like Xeon having more tools to be able to press aggressively and gain more advantage, like maybe more cards like Char Zaku 2, then it'll really give us the benefit to be able to go over the top. All in all, I'm extremely excited for Red. Like I said, close combat looks to be extremely exciting to me in terms of more ways to be able to deal with our opponent's board and what they're doing. So the more we see, I mean, I don't know that we're going to get much past these demo decks after this weekend. If you guys are interested in doing demos, Bandai's actually running them in California at the start of March. So you guys will definitely want to be able to do that. And maybe they announce some more after that. But I am doubtful that after these demo decks, we're going to get much more until they start doing official reveals. But if anything, I think the red addition into the card pool is going to be a lot of fun for players to be able to mess around while we're still kind of in this long waiting period. That said, I'm definitely going to be messing with Red. Super excited about it. Once again, if you guys want to check out practice games, all that kind of stuff, links to the Discord will be in the bottom. I'll get you guys in the next one.